Tiffany here with the Peterborough Chamber of Commerce, and I am excited. I'm excited to sit down. I've got Gauvreau Accounting Tax Law Advisory. Bob Gauvreau himself is joining me this morning. I've asked Bob to sit down to have a chat with me because I'm seeing lots and lots of buzz about the $1 Million Summit, the Ascent Summit. I think happening next week, January 25th, 26th, 27th. It's like a 3-day extravaganza. And Bob, thank you for joining me today, my friend.
Tiffany, always a pleasure to connect with you in the chamber.
Awesome. I appreciate your time. You're remarkably busy. I mean, Gauvreau, your business has been growing exponentially. Of course, the last few years, the last year, I see you've got some new staff members. There's a new coach on team, Belinda, just amazing things. Not to mention the Ascent Summit happening next week. I've got questions for you, sir.
I've got answers.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
Last year, I've got really high expectations. And I wondered if you could share with us what we can expect at the summit this year, because last year you had Gary V. Your MC last year kept me engaged for the entire event. I need to know what's happening, what's going on. Hook me, Bob.
Yeah, absolutely. So last year, yes, we had Gary V. We brought Gary V in specifically last year because we had a book launch as well. So we were trying to tie that in last year. So we had The Wealthy Entrepreneur that was released last year, which was great. Now, last year was a one-day event. We felt like we were going at 100 miles an hour for that 8 or 9 hours, just like throwing so much information at people. So this year we've taken a little bit different approach. We've still invested. We've brought in great speakers, but we're not bringing in the Gary V sort of FAQ sort of question. We've invested in different ways. We've expanded it to be 3 days so that we can go through things in greater detail. One, we can explain how different tools work. And all of these tools are based on financial mastery and how financial mastery can be a calculated way to achieve your $1 million year. But we've got all of these set out. So we're going to teach some things. We're going to talk about them together so that everybody gets an experience of how it impacts them. And then we have action steps. So the important piece for this 3 days is not only that I'm going to teach and give insights and tactics, and that my other colleagues are going to come in and do the same, but that we actually have actionable takeaways. Because what we want is by the end of the 3 days, every business owner who attends has a blueprint that they can go and start to execute and take action on achieving their $1 million year. So it's going to be mind-blowing. We're so excited about it. But yeah, it's a little bit different approach, a little bit slower so that everybody can take everything in. Again, a little bit more actionable steps coming out of it. So really excited to really share everything we have over those 3 days.
Very clever, because often you're right, coming into these kind of serious conversations, these things that we actually want to make sure that we're learning, you just kind of do the 1 day, the 9 hours, you absorb it all, and then you're lucky if you continue on to carry those pieces. But to be able to break it down and goal set and actually strat plan around all of this, that's huge. And I'm almost speechless because the summit's free. Well, there's an extreme amount of value, I think, behind the opportunity to even absorb some of your expertise, all of the things and the pieces that you've been putting together. And I know you're passionate. I mean, I see it in everywhere, everything that you do. But why? Why is this free? Well, I'm suspicious.
Yeah, no, great question. So listen, like I'll take it back maybe a step. You know, we've had the opportunity to really grow our team. In fact, you had talked about new hires. We've just added 7 new people in the last 7 days. So it's pretty wild. We've since 2008, we've been working on implementing different strategies into our business. Some have worked, some have not. We've had the privilege of working with over 1,000 business owners, implementing the same tools and tactics. And this last year, we've had so much success with our business owners that we work with in our virtual CFO program. We're essentially taking all of those results, packing it into this 3 days. And your question was, why is it free? Well, ultimately, honestly, Tiffany, because we want to actually start a small business movement. We know how challenging it's been over the last 2 years for small business owners, still challenging for small business owners in Ontario, specifically thinking of, the lockdowns, the closed doors, the remote work, if anything, the emotional strain that's been on business owners the last 2 years has been never seen before. And, we've had the opportunity to continue to push through some of this for our own business, again, help other people do it. But what we really want to do is help all of those businesses, one, who've had that a little bit of a struggle or have had success, they've punched through. Now let's calculate out how you really excel. So, what this is for, why it's free. We want to create a movement. This is a little, it's the selfish, not selfish thing. I want this to be a little bit of a legacy piece for us, that we're helping impact so many small business owners' lives. Now, at the same token, we've created programs, we offer services that can support those business owners. So if we can create enough value for them over 3 days, we're hoping that we have the opportunity to continue our relationship beyond that. So that's really, that's what's maybe in it for me. One, that I want to impact all those lives. And two, if we do a good enough job in our free delivery, that maybe people will go, you know what, these guys are doing things that no one else is doing in their space, which we are. So let's maybe consider carrying on that relationship and allowing them to help maybe implement for us some of the $1 million a year tactics that we're going to teach next week.
Great answer. And for knowing you for so many years, I've always known you to be a helper. So this really makes sense, right? And so you mentioned it, small businesses. When we hear $1 Million Summit, we're thinking like huge, big dreams, but everyone is welcome to come absorb, because no matter what, we're all kind of looking forward in a direction. So big and small, everyone is welcome, right?
Totally. So, I consume so much reading, and so much material. And one book that I've listened to, most of it's listening while I'm driving, mostly to the cottage with the kids. I'll be outside and just consuming as much information as I possibly can. And I listened to Grant Cardone's 10X book. And for those of you who don't know Grant Cardone, he's one of the business consultants in the world, heavy in real estate. Grant Cardone said something in his book the other day that was a lot about goal setting. And he said, I would rather go for a big goal and fall short than have a short goal and achieve it. And his example was, let's say it's $1 million a year. Let's say you want to make $1 million or generate $1 million in revenue in your business. I would rather come up short at 900 than say I want to hit 200 and hit that, right? He said, pushing yourself, leaning into the opportunity that lies ahead is so important. And so back to your question, who does this apply to? Anybody who wants to continue to expand their business. So it could mean a business owner maybe has, $100,000 of revenue right now, but their goal is to hit $1 million in revenue. Maybe they don't want to hit that. Maybe they want to accumulate $1 million in investments so that when they eventually want to retire, that they've got, some assets that are there that can help support them with their pension and whatnot when they retire. So whether it's a small business who is looking to achieve some of these for the first time, or maybe it's a multi-million-dollar business that maybe hasn't hit $1 million in profit a year and wants to do that. Maybe they're already hitting $1 million. They want to hit 2 or 3. These tactics apply to every single business owner. And it's all going to be strategic calculations on how we can help any business owner get from where they are to where they want to go. And that $1 million a year can mean whatever it needs to that individual business owner. And one more thing I just want to throw at Tiffany. And I know this is the chamber community, this is business owners. I wrote this in my book at one point. Because a lot of times when I start talking about maximizing profits, people get a little icky, right? They go, ooh, that's a little gross, Bob. Why would we want to maximize our profits, right? It's not all about the money. And I couldn't agree more. I'm doing a free event, for God's sakes. I understand that it's not all about the money, but the one thing that everyone needs to understand, and every employee of every business needs to understand this, every community member who looks at business owners and says, oh, you guys have it so easy. The reality is, if we don't make profit, there is no business, right? If we don't make money, we can't support our employees. We can't support our families. We can't impact those that we serve, profit and money is so very important, because if we don't have that, all those go away. And if we want to look at growth, we want to look at profit maximization, improving our cash flow, building investments, that allows us to impact more people. It doesn't mean that you need to put more money in your pockets and that you're a crazy capitalist, ignorant person, but it means we can invest. I now have 50 employees that are now supporting more and more small businesses. Why? Not because I want to necessarily put more money in my pocket, but that I want to reinvest in my business. We're changing the world by helping businesses and their communities and the communities that they live in and supporting employees. This is why we need to be profitable in our business. And I'm going to drive this home over the 3 days, the 25th to 27th, that these are the tactics to help do that, so that we can together as a small business community change the world one day at a time.
Remarkable. It is going to be excellent content, tools, processes, tactile things you can take with you moving forward. And Bob, if we want to register, we're going to ascentsummit.com.
Ascentsummit.com. Again, completely free, 10 a.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern every day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You can upgrade and get a VIP package. I think it's $47. That will give you access to recordings. So if you have to leave throughout the event, or you can't make that schedule work for you, you can buy recordings in advance. We're not giving them to everybody because we want people to show up. But if you want to invest in that so that you have recordings, 100% you can do that. We've got a few other special prizes and opportunities for VIP guests. And we are going to, one of these days in the event, we are going to talk about continuing this small business movement outside of this summit. And again, right now we've got 2,400 people registered for the event. We likely will have 3,000 plus by next week. Thank you for this little push into the chamber community. But again, 100% free. Show up, invest in you, right? We need to lean into the opportunity that sits in front of us right now. Our biggest investment opportunity is in ourselves. It's in our knowledge, so that we can continue to reinvest in our business and continue to grow it and impact our communities. Guys, I can't wait to see everybody there. I'm starting to get the jitters a little bit of thinking of having 25 to 3,000 people in a Zoom call together, going over things that are going to change our small business community. So please join us. And I'm so excited to share everything we have to help you take your business to the next level.
I am thrilled. A remarkable opportunity. You have been in and out. You have seen almost it all, to pull it back and develop these processes, these tools, and to share the opportunity with the community, the business community. Kudos to you, Bob Gauvreau. Thank you so much. Gauvreau Accounting Tax Law Advisory. Go to ascentsummit.com. I'll include the links in this post as well. And have a great day, everyone. I'll see you at the summit next week.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.